Hi everybody, it's Bobby of Knitter's Niche. Welcome to my bonus room. Welcome to Knitter's Niche. Today is June 17th, 2025. It is 3 p.m. in the afternoon. Well, p.m. is the afternoon. And today it's very rainy and cloudy, and we just had a big burst of thunder a minute ago. I'm upstairs. I felt that through the floor and on up into this chair and on up my back. That thunder, it was so loud. Does that mean that it's hitting close? You know how if you see lightning and then you count, and that for every second, that's how many miles away that the lightning hit. That's what we used to say when we were young, and I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's true. You know, it's this time of year to have these storms pop up. Again, it's not really storming, but it's raining pretty good. So I'm kind of in the dark in here, and I've got my laptop in front of me, as I've had to use the past few episodes because it has been rainy, cloudy every time I decide to record. But anyway, let's get going with this episode. This episode is called Sleeveless Summer 2025, right here. Yep, summer 2025. Of course, today is the 17th. Summer solstice is in 4 days. So that's the 21st. So we're looking forward to getting the actual official summer rolling. Well, first off, we're going to talk about what I'm wearing, and then we'll carry on to our bundle of sleeveless summer knits. Okay. The reason I'm wearing this is I had some questions about it. I didn't have it on last podcast, but I put a picture in of this, and it is called Asteri. Now, this is a long sleeve. It's really cute. It's very nice. Long sleeve sweater. And this pattern is designed by Natasha Hornby. This is the one and only pattern that I have ever knit by Natasha. I do have several in my favorites, that's for sure. And I talked a little bit about the yarn that I had knit it with last podcast. And I'm going to grab it back here. It's in this little basket. Isn't that basket cute? I think I like little things. When it comes to baskets and stuff, I like little things, I think. Okay, there's the yarn. And this is called Issei or baby yarn. I did talk about that a little bit last episode. This is what I had knit the Asteri with. And this is 68% baby alpaca, 32% organic cotton. And this is considered a DK weight pattern. And this is knit in garter stitch, but what you have this organic floral motif at the top here. Wow. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that really nice? And then you have your slip stitch. All this is a slip stitch here, and it runs on the way up to the arm. And now it does show it with ribbing across the bottom. The hem is ribbed, and I didn't do that. And when I first talked about this, I had knit this when I was in Florida a year before last, is in the winter. And the bottom of it wants to draw up. So because it's garter does that. Garter wants to bunch up, and this it has. So I purchased some more yarn. This is one I bought two more skeins, because what I want to do is go ahead, take out this bind off, put it back on my needles, do the ribbing, and I think it'll be just a little bit longer too, because it keeps wanting to really, see, it wants to really bunch up on me. But I think with the stability of the ribbing, I think that would be wonderful for the hem. So that's what I'm going to do, because when I knit this, I only had a little ball like this big left. I want on my knits, I would be more comfortable wearing it if I had the ribbing across the bottom, because there was a couple I saw in the project page of the Asteri that they didn't do the ribbing. And then the majority of them did, because the pattern does call for that. Now on the sleeve, it does not. And even though I did my sleeves longer, see, I mean, they still want to draw up. So, because it's garter likes that. Carter likes to do that. But see, I can go like this. And see, watch it. It wants to draw up. So I don't know. I like the look of just the nice, neat, sleek, modern look of this sweater, though. It is so pretty. And it is a boat neck, but it's not overly big. It's not an overly big boat neck. And I knit the size 2. I kind of wish I would have knit this the one size larger, so it could be a little more roomy. It feels really good on, though. This yarn is very, very soft, and it feels very good against my skin. Let's get going. Let's get going on this summer bundle that I've created for all of you. Some are called tops and some are called tanks. The first one we're going to talk about today is the Nolita Tank. And I think that's how you pronounce it. This is designed by Tori Yu. And I have done a test knit for Tori Yu before, and it was called the Gartergan. And as you can imagine, it is a cardigan that is done all in garter. And oh goodness, that's probably been, that was before I was podcasting, I think, or maybe right when I started to podcast, which would have been 3 years ago. All right, let's take a look at some of the attributes of the Nolita Tank. First off, it is suggested to use Sandnes Garn Lena, which is a DK. She's calling that a DK weight. There's a bit of a dilemma with Sandnes Garn Lena. Some of the patterns list it as worsted. Now, let me click into the Sandnes Garn and see what it says. It says it's worsted. And it says 9 wraps per inch. And she's using, let's see, hang on, let's see what needle size that they're saying, the company is saying. A US 6, and they say there's 9 whips per inch, which would throw it into the worsted. Now on this pattern, she says DK 11 wraps per inch. On a 6. So that could just be her tension. So be sure that you do a gauge swatch to make sure that you're getting the correct gauge for this really, really cute tank. I love this. One of the reasons I like it so much, as you can see here, I'll put a picture up. They have a different color here on the scoop neck, and then also along the armholes of the tank. Some of the attributes are I-cord edging in the round, no ease, or you could do positive ease. One piece, there is a schematic, scoop neck, seamless, sleeveless, top down. It's an adult, or obviously a teen could wear it also. It says the Nolita Tank is an effortlessly cool and sporty tank with a fun splash of color. This tank is knitted top down using a DK weight yarn and features a scoop neckline and finishing touches in a contrast color and I-cord edges. She goes on. I always like to know what the name of the garment stands for. What was the inspiration to name this garment Nolita? And she says the Nolita Tank was inspired and named after the lively, trend-setting neighborhood in Manhattan, New York. You know, I was in New York back in 1978. That was a long, long time ago. Okay, the Nolita T, let's get back to business here. The Nolita T is, again, by Tori Yu. So let's go on to the next pick that I have. It's called Sol, S-O-L. It is by Jack Cieslak. And she used to have Jacqueline Cieslak on a lot of her patterns, but now she has Jack, or maybe it's Jacques. It's J-A-Q. Love it. Okay, this pattern, real quick too, the one we just talked about with Tori Yu, that just came out in June 2025, just came out this month. So that's a brand new pattern out there. Now this one that we're talking about, Sol, S-O-L, it was released in June 2020. It's a knit with a fingering weight yarn, a US 3, which is a 3.25 millimeter needle. It is written in English. Let's take a look at some of the attributes of this pattern. It's A-line, asymmetric, bobble or popcorn. I can see that in the pattern in the lace here. It is knit bottom up. It is charted, cropped, eyelets, in the round lace, reversible. And what she means by reversible, you can just put the front and the back, so you can have the back showing here. Either way, it's reversible. I really, really like that. V-neck, it is a written pattern, but again, it does have a chart. And the lace, as you can see, is just down the right side. This is my right side. Just down the right side, the lace pattern. Oh, I love this so much. She goes on to say, Soul is a tank for the summer solstice. Ah, Soul, solstice, S-O-L. I just got it. I just figured it out. Is designed to celebrate the healing power of creativity and the warmth of the sun on your body. Now, this is a simple bottom-up construction. The tank features an original asymmetric lace panel inspired by chestnut blossoms. I don't know what a chestnut blossom looks like. I've never seen a chestnut blossom. It has instructions for cropped or for full length. And there's also details for modifying the width of the straps. Now, isn't that nice? And both written and charted instructions are, oh, hang on. For those of you that don't like to chart, it says both written and charted instructions are for the lace panel. So, but what I want you to do first, I want you to do a little bit of investigating on your own also. If you don't like charted patterns, this does say both written and charted instructions are included for the lace panel. Ah, I love that when designers do that. All right, that is the Soul, with short for solstice. The next one we're going to talk about is going to look a little familiar because I talked about, I'll call it the sister version of this. This is called the lacy loop top. I'll put a picture here for you to look at. This is another version of the lacy loop tee. This is designed by Other Loops. It is suggesting using worsted weight yarn with a US 6, which is 4.0 millimeter, US 4, which is 3.5 millimeter, and a US 7, which is 4.5 millimeter. It goes from extra small to extra, extra large. Let's take a look at some of the attributes of this pattern. Adult, chart, eyelets in the round, short rows, a teen, so teen or adult. Top down, worked flat, written pattern. So you're going to start out, I'm assuming, working flat, either the front or the back first, probably the back, and then coming and connecting here, and then working the front down a series, and then coming together and working the rest in the round. That is my guess. The top is worked from top to bottom. First stitches are cast on for the back piece, so you do the back shoulder area first, knit it down a ways, and then come together here. Pick up stitches here, maybe. Not sure how she's doing the assembly here. And then come on down and then working around. Really, really like this. She shows a couple of different colors that she herself has had knit. There are 47 projects here. This came out just last month, May 2025. Again, the lacy loop top by Other Loops. All right, the next one has been in the top 20. I haven't checked that today to see if it's still in the top 20. It is the Pierre top. It is by Johanna Gerish. Not sure I'm pronouncing that right. Beautiful name. This was just released this month, 2025. It is a light fingering weight pattern. US 4, which is 3.5 millimeter needle is used. And let's take a look at some of the attributes of this garment. Adult, it's chart. There's a chart. Crew neck, cropped. Eyelets, female fitted. I-cord edging in the round. Lace, negative ease or no ease. One piece, seamless, sleeveless, straight. Textured, top down. Worked flat, a written pattern. So it's charted and written. Let's go on down to C. The difficulty level, okay, now she says the level of difficulty is advanced. I do like it that she personally put that in there. So if that gives any of you pause, but it's always fun to try to do an advanced pattern. Okay, here you go. It's sleeveless. It is all over lace, front and back. So that is a little bit more to concentrate on and keep track of. But she does go into a little bit more of the structure. What I'll do is I will let you go in, take a look at this pattern, do a little investigative work and see if this is something that you would like to knit. Yeah, so this is brand new, June 2025, the Pierre top. All right, the fifth one we're going to talk about is the Sunday Swirl Tank. I really like this. It's by Jessie Maed Design. I have, I think, 2 patterns that I have purchased of Jessie Maed Designs. This was released in May of 2025. Ritual Dyes Undyne DK yarn is suggested for this pattern, and that is a DK weight. Again, that's Undyne DK from Ritual Dyes. All right, let's get back into the pattern here. US 3, which is 3.25 millimeter needle, and a US 2, which is 2.75 millimeter needle. Okay, let's see what some attributes of this pattern. Adult cables, chart in the round, lace, no ease, ribbed, scoop neck, seamless, short rows, top down, written pattern. Looks like there's a split at the bottom. This is really pretty, really pretty. And I would take a look at some more of Jessie Maed's patterns that she has. She's got a lot of nice little summer knit patterns. So go ahead and click into her, click on her name in the pattern. It'll take you to more of her patterns for you to look at. Okay, the next one we're going to talk about is My Favorite Things. And My Favorite Things, I had just knit last episode. I had knit the blouse number 1 by My Favorite Things, and I love it. This is called the Camisol number 9. This was released in July of 2023. This is considered to be a sleeveless top. She suggests knitting for olive merino, or knitting for olive pure silk, or knitting for olive cotton merino. You will use a fingering weight yarn with US 2.5 needle, which is 3.0 millimeter, US 1.5 needle, which is 2.5 millimeter, and US 0 as 2.0 millimeter. So those 3 different needles will be used in this pattern. The sizes available are extra small through 4XL. This is adult, crew neck, female fitted in the round, negative ease, sleeveless, top down, unisex, and it is a written pattern. I really like this. So let me see how many. Okay, here we go. There have been 1,844 Camisol number 9s knit that are listed in Ravelry. All right, here's a new one here for you. This is called the Ceca Summer Top. It's by Ceca Knit. And this is considered a sleeveless top. She suggests using Sandnes Garnlina or Drops Bell. The Drops Bell is really close, if not identical, to the Sandnes Garnlina. I've not tried the Bell yet to see. I'm going to try that sometime. And it is a lot less expensive. And Sandnes Garnlina is not terribly expensive, but Bell is very, it's inexpensive. It's not cheap. I'm not going to say it's cheap, but it's inexpensive. So that's good. And I get, the only time I've ever got drops, and I've done, it's drops. I've gotten some drops yarn before, just haven't tried the Bell. I always get it from Wool Warehouse, and that is in the UK. I'll put a link down below. They had it here to me within 7 to 8 days, and the shipping was never, ever more than $6 and change, $6 US. Unbelievable how they can do that coming clear from the UK. So US 6 needle is used, which is 4.0 millimeter, a US 4, which is 3.5 millimeter. And this is written in English and Korean. It's adult, boat neck. So this is a boat neck here. Boat neck, female fitted, I-cord edging in the round, negative ease or no ease, short rows, Sleeveless, top down. There's a video tutorial. Woo-hoo. Worked flat in the written pattern. I like a video tutorial. I mean, even if you think you don't need it, it's always so nice to watch a video tutorial because they might do something a little bit different than you do and you might learn something new. 9 times out of 10, you're going to learn something new. This was just released June 2025, so it's brand new. Okay, that was a Ceca Summer top. Now we're going to jump back into Camisol number 10, and Camisol number 10 is from my favorite things. This was published in 2024, June of 2024. Yarn was held together, a fingering and a fingering, which equals DK. She has knitting for Olive, pure silk, and is it Lanes? Lanes du Nord luxury silk, Laines. The needle size you use is US 6, my voice got high, US 6, which is 4.0 millimeter, US 8, which is 5.0 millimeter. Sizes go from extra small to 4 extra large. Excellent. It is knit top down. It is a written pattern. Okay, y'all, hang on. You know, you'll have patterns sometimes and they will say that it's available from their website. And this is what she has said here. This pattern is available from my favorite things-knitwear.com. It is written in English, Danish, German, Norwegian, and Swedish. Goes from extra small to 4XL. I don't know if I mentioned that or not. All right. I really, really like this. I do like this. What I like most about some of these summer knits, and even the one that I have on here, which is not necessarily a summer knit, but it would be really nice on a cool summer evening. It has this simple silhouette that is eye-catching. There's just something about it. There's just something about this simple, sophisticated silhouette, how it drapes on her body. I love it. I really, really do. I like it a lot. So I'm going to take a look at some of the projects. There are 475 projects. So there have been 475 Camisol number 10s knit. And as I look at it, she calls it a camisole. And you know what? I always think of a camisole, and I could be way off base here, y'all. I always think of it, a camisole is just like a little thin, it's like this with a scoop that you would wear under something. But I'm learning that that's not what it means, not in the knitting community anyway. If you can see in the picture, it looks like it's just the cast on edge here at the neck is how it's basically finished. There's no added finishes to it. It does say on the very bottom here, in the finishing section, you will find instructions on how to finish the neckline and bottom of the top with an I-cord edge. If you choose this option, calculate approximately 1 extra skein of luxury silk. To complete that, if you decide to do the I-cord edging, you will need more yarn than what is said here, a little bit more. All right, Camisol number 10, can never go wrong with my favorite things. All right, the next one we're going to talk about, okay, I'm going to say something real quick here, and it's going to be brief. I got some pushback. Last episode, I had a comment, and it started off with, oh boy, another podcast about, oh, I don't want to do this, but I'm going to, about petite knit patterns. And I understand, and I told the viewer, I said, you know, I understand your perspective, absolutely. And the thing of it is, there are a lot of people that like petite knits. There are a lot of people that are interested in anything new that she may have. And if I have knitted or so on or so forth. Now, the two that I'm going to talk about, I'm going to talk about two of them again, and they are in this bundle, and I'm going to talk briefly about them. There's a lot of people that like petite knit patterns, so I'm going to talk about petite knit patterns. I'll never do a full petite knit episode, and there's been podcasters that have, and I will never do that because I really want to highlight even more designers out there, because it's important to let them shine. And, you know, maybe if somebody hasn't heard about someone that I have found, they would be interested in that too. And I would check, hey y'all, check Ravelry, what's hot now, the top 20 list. I check it every day, and you're going to find some designers that you're not familiar with. And when I do that, I click onto that pattern, and then I click on their name within that pattern, and it brings up all the patterns that they have designed. And I always find something in there to add to my favorites or to add to my queue in Ravelry. Okay, let's get going. Let's talk about a couple of Petite Knit patterns. The Ivy top, and this is new. I barely mentioned it one other podcast. So we're going to dive a little deeper into this, more detail into the Ivy top. This was just released this month, June 2025. She suggests Santa Scarntin Lena, which you're probably all tired of Santa Scarntin Lena. I love it. Or Knitting for Olive Pure Silk, or Esayer Yarn Trio 2. Yarns are held together, so 2 fingering weight yarns equal a DK weight. This is a great opportunity to marl something, be using 2 different colors together, and you're going to get a beautiful look with that. I would suggest a lighter neutral tone with a color. The needle size used is US 6, which is 4.0 millimeter. She has sizes extra, extra small to 5XL. It is written in English, Danish, Finnish, French, German, Norwegian, Polish, and Swedish. Alrighty, the Ivy type is worked from the top down. The top is constructed, so the first section is worked with the shoulder increases and short rows. Then the front and back yoke are worked separately, back and forth on a circular needle. Again, this is just that simple, sophisticated, eye-catching. There's just something about it. And I think the yarn has a lot to do with it. So choose your yarn wisely. I like a little linen in my yarn to give it that drape. All right, that's the Ivy top by Petite Knit. Another top we're going to talk about is the Cloud top. This is categorized as a sleeveless top. This was released April of 2024, last year. 2 fingering weight yarns equal DK. Again, Santa Scarntin Lena, Knitting for Olive Pure Silk, Esayer yarn. Now, here's the thing. Esayer yarn Trio 2, I have used in, you'll see it in a minute in a test knit that I'm doing, how much I have knit since my last podcast. You're going to like it. I really, really like it. Along the neck and armhole stitches are picked up and knitted, and a stockinette stitch edge is worked. And all a stockinette stitch edge is, it's stockinette, and that's it. Then you bind off. And you get that little rolled effect. See, I really love that. I had that in my blouse number 1 that I wore last episode. All right. Okay. There are 2 Petite Knit patterns in this group of 12. All right. The next one we're going to talk about, I'm going to back up. I'm going to save this one for the last. Let me go to this here. I like the Theo top. The Theo top actually was published back in August of 2020. This is by Sue-Ann Muller. The Theo top is considered a sleeveless top. I can see that you could wear this as a vest also. Santa Scarn Lena is knit with this, so you're using a worsted weight yarn. US 6 needle is used, which is 4.0 millimeter, and a US 2.5, which is 3.0 millimeter. It is written in English and in German. The sizes available are small up to extra, extra large. There's a photo tutorial for this. That is great. It's seamless, top down. It is a written pattern. I really like Susan Muller. She also goes by Paula Strict. Very nice. Okay, now here is the last one I'm going to talk about. If y'all remember, oh goodness, it's been a year ago. It's been a year. I started to knit this, and I talked a tiny bit about it, and I used the Santa Scarn Lena, which is your worsted weight cotton, linen, and viscose yarn, which I've used quite a bit and told y'all about quite a bit. This is called the Sabai top. The Sabai top is yet again still in Ravelry's top 20. And what that means, it is in the top 20 patterns that have been searched the most. So here we go. The Sabai top is also by Susan Muller, which is also known as Paula Strict. This was released last May of 2024. As you're using a DK weight yarn, Sandus Garnlina, and there's a couple of other ones mentioned here also. You use a US 6 needle, which is 4.0 millimeter. Sizes range from extra small to extra, extra large. It is written in English, French, and German. Let's look at some attributes. The boat neck, it's a boat neck. It's a boat neck. Seamless, sleeveless, top-down written pattern. It's a light and airy summer top with a boat neck. It's super easy to knit. It requires only a few techniques and is therefore ideal for beginners. Okay, in addition to this pattern, you get two finishes. Well, actually, it's all up here. Two different finishes on how you start. One has ribbing, one does not. And I'll show them both to you. This is the Sabai top number 1. And this is the Sabai top number 2. Now that's written in, that's shown in black. And what this has is your stockinette edge, which will just roll. And this it starts out with a stockinette edge that rolls just a little bit, and then it goes into some ribbing. I had started it, and I noticed that because what you'll do is you're going to knit the back, and this is flat. Then you're going to come here and you're going to knit the front. And what I could see, so you're going back and forth. So you're knit stitches in the front, and of course you're purling in the back. Well, what was happening was, they call it rowing out, where as you're purling in the back, your purl stitches are much looser. Mine are. I didn't think they were, but they are much looser with this yarn. And these needles I used in this pattern. So when you turn it around, it was like bigger stitches here and there, and I just wasn't happy with it. So I am going to do it again. I'm going to try it again, but I'm going to try something different, and I'll catch up on that later in another podcast. But the Sabai, again, is still in the top 20. I'll tell you how many have been knit. Okay, this is in 1 year. 3,031 of the Sabai tops have been knit, and there's just a resurgence again this year. Everybody's interested in it. So I'm going to pick my needles up and knit that again before the summer's over with. Okay, those are my 12 that I'm here to talk about today. That wraps that up. Sleeveless Summer 2025. All righty. Okay, behind me here. Let's talk about what's gone behind me. These are 2 sleeveless tanks that I have knit before. I've talked about both of these. This is by Christy Archer. This is called the, I always say it wrong, Andalucia. It's not Andalucia, Andalucia. Andalucia. This is the Andalucia. And I have knit this with a cotton and linen blend yarn. It wasn't Sandus yarn. It was a very inexpensive yarn. And I'll tell you what, it feels really nice. This is beautiful. I'll put some pictures of it here of me, probably here, of me wearing it a couple of years ago. I test knit this for Christy. And I love it. She also has one called Little Sprout, which is done just in stockinette. But isn't that nice? Look at this. And this is huge right now, y'all. This textured knit, which kind of gives you some striping just through the different stitches that you use. This is really big right now. And the back, if you can see, is cut in your back shoulders just a little bit. See? A little bit deeper. Yeah. I love it. It's beautiful. It's comfortable. I have thrown it in the washer dryer. I did. And it worked out perfect. I really, really like that. Okay, now this one, and I'm going to apologize here because I'm going to have to look in my projects and tell you the correct name, because I think one other time I misspoke and I didn't use the correct name. I had knit this. Let me tell you when I knit this one. This I knit back, I finished it, started it May 17th, 2023, and I completed it May 22nd, 2023. It was a test knit that I had done for Rhonda Yerza, Y-E-R-X-A, Rhonda Yerza. It's called Sunshine Bliss Tank Top. This is beautiful. Look at that. She has a lot of beautiful lace patterns. And I use the We Are Knitters cotton, and this particular color was called, it's the number, colorway number is 8156 Light Salmon. And the back is all stockinette. This is so pretty. I had such a good time. I had such a good time. Whenever, look at those. Okay, what's my favorite thing? Wonder. Can you guess what my favorite thing is on this? I didn't mean to whip that around so fast. Is these little cables. Look how sweet. I can tell you some attributes of this. Let's see if she put any in here. Oh, she didn't. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking at my project page. Let me click on it here. Here's some of the attributes. Adult, it's bottom up. I do remember that. Cables, chart, it's charted. Cropped eyelets in the round, lace. One piece, positive ease, ribbed. Textured, 3 needle bind off. Twisted stitches, unisex. It's a written pattern. I love it. Again, this was May of 2023 when it was released. Very nice. I'm going to back up here because I want to tell you some attributes of this one. I think it's Andalucia. Let me go back and look here real quick. Thank you for your patience. Oh, goodness gracious, y'all. You always give me grace, and I appreciate that. You're so kind. Okay. I think it is Andalucia or Andalucia. I think it's Andalucia. Okay, this is the Andalucia. I knit the size 3. And US 7 and US 8 needles are used. Let's take a look at some of the attributes. I will click onto Christy's page here, Christy Archer Designs. She has used the Knit Picks Dishy, which is a cotton yarn. It's worsted weight, a US 8 and a US 6 yarn. It is written in English. Let's take a look at some of the attributes of the Andalucia. Crew neck, eyelets, female, fitted, halter neck. Okay, this is more of a halter. Yeah. And you don't see very much of this, y'all. This is nice. I really like it. You know what? A great part of a woman, and I'm not kidding, is the clavicle here. Beautiful, beautiful part. And also your shoulders. Very pretty. I mean, it's just attractive. It's attractive. So, crew neck, eyelets, female fitted, halter neck. We'll go back here. In the round, negative ease, no ease. One piece, ribbed, seamless, short rows, sleeveless, textured, top down, worked flat. It's worked flat and in the round. It's a written pattern. And this is very clever. This is a very clever pattern. And I will, let me see here. If we have the difficulty rate on there, I don't think we do. There is some concentration here, but it's exciting to knit a totally new silhouette. This is a silhouette that you don't see very often, everybody. So if you have some great shoulders and a great clavicle, well, actually your clavicle will be covered. If you have some great shoulders, show them off. Show them off. Okay. This super fun high neck style top down tank is sure to be a favorite in your summer wardrobe. And with it being such a super fast knit, you have time to make lots of them to help keep you cool on those sweltering days ahead. Beautiful. You start with the neckband, then move to German short rows. Let's look at some yarn suggestions here. There are 9 projects in there, only 9. Now, I don't mean only 9. I want you to try it. Please try this. This is beautiful. See, I made mine a little bit longer. The yarn that I used was the inexpensive yarn, a cotton linen blend. And it did grow, but this is sharp looking. It's beautiful. Again, this texture is so big right now. Please take a look at that. If anything, just go into Ravelry, take a look at it. Give it a heart, save it in your favorites, put it in your queue. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. And you know, we had so much fun doing that test knit. You know, when you do a test knit, you meet people because you're communicating you're communicating. It wasn't Instagram. I forget what she used for the app we used. I don't know if program, I guess I should say, that we used. It was really nice. Really nice. And she is so quick to answer any questions too, if you've got any questions about anything. I love it. Love it. That looks store-bought, y'all. I'm not kidding you. All right. So those are the only two sleeveless I have ever knit. So let's go and check out what I'm test knitting. And then I have some fabulous, fabulous news to tell y'all. All right. This is a test knit that I am doing. Let me grab it here. Instructions. Whoops. I should turn it so you can see it, huh? Okay. This is called the Zuri T, and this is by Toks Knits, Toks Knits. I'll put the information here and of course down below. This is done with cable. Look at the cable raglan. Are you kidding me? You know, I have seen more and more. Actually, you know, I can't think of her name. Oh, shoot. Sorry, Nordland. Sorry, Nordland has some that have with the cable garter, excuse me, the cable raglan. It's beautiful. Now, she has suggested using the twisted rib in the pattern, but I chose to do the tubular cast on and just did your regular ribbing there. But take a look here. Now, I'm going to ask all y'all's opinion. Oops, I'm stuck down here because it's still connected to the needles. I'm thinking, do you think this is the pearls are too big? Those are 2 purl stitches, but they seem a little big to me. But I don't know. I don't know. It hasn't been wet blocked or anything. So let me show you the yarn that I'm using. I did talk about it last. I feel like I need to hold this up here. Oh Lord, if I only had more than 2 hands. Okay, isn't this cute? This is the Esayer Trio 2, and this when you feel this, it's okay. 50% linen, so it's 50% linen, 30% cotton, and 20% lyocell. This is nice. If you can you see? It almost, see that? It's almost string-like, but it's not. It's very soft and smooth in your fingers, but it has a little bit of stiffness to it, like a true 100% linen would. So it's held with this, and this is the Marilyn, Merilin, by Esayer, and it is 80% wool and 20% flax. So I'm holding these two together, and I am getting a bit of a marled look. Oops, if you can see it or not. Can you see it? Love it. I'm really excited about this. And this is a test knit, and she said we could go ahead and talk about it. So that's what I'm doing today. That's what I'm working on. And this does have a little bit heavier feel, but I'm so excited. You know, okay, I didn't wash my swatch. I have a feeling it's really going to soften up nicely. I'm really going to soften up nicely. Okay. The other test knit I was working on, and I told y'all, I was like, oh my gosh, I do not have the correct, I ran out of the correct dye lot, which is Knitting for Olive Merino, and it was the soft blue, and I needed 977, is it 97704? Guess what? I have it. If y'all, okay, if you follow me on Instagram, you already know. I had a wonderful, wonderful, lovely viewer comment on my last video. She said that a yarn shop near her, she decided to go one day. I don't know if it was the next, it was pretty quick. I don't know how many days it was that she had went, I forget. But anyway, she went to the yarn shop near her, and she asked if they had Knitting for Olive soft blue in the dye lot that I needed. And they did. They had 3 of them. And they were in Canada. So, of course, I'm here in Northeast Alabama. So here we go. If I can do this without it falling, it'll be a miracle. There goes my, there we go. These needles, I used to do the tubular cast on one of them, and it was so simple. I'll talk about that sometime with you. Okay, here it is, it's 97704, sorry. I don't know if I said the right number before. And I bought 3 of them, and they came yesterday. I had them on my Instagram. I did a little reel about it. And I have 3 of them, and this is the exact color. This is what I had left over from the original. So here it is. And I am holding it with marzipan, and I'm going to be a tangled mess here, I'm afraid. I'm holding it with the color marzipan, which is the Knitting for Olive Soft Silk Merino. I'm holding those 2 together. So here we go. This, again, just to remind y'all, in this test knit, this is the Cabana Tee. The Cabana Tee is by Coco Amore Knits. Okay, I'm using the mohair again with the soft blue merino, and this has caused a little bit of marling. And look at this. And the requirements were for the test knit was to go ahead, cast on, knit, splits for sleeves, and complete 1 sleeve. So I kept knitting and knitting. Well, as you can see, if I can show you, about right in here is where I added that new color of soft blue that I had ordered, not thinking in my right mind, I should know better, not thinking that Knitting for Olive yarn would actually, there would be any difference between one dye light to another. There is. This is much more gray. And I could see it. And I thought, oh no, there's no way I'll do it. And then when it rolls down, you know how the stockinette rolls up on you while you're knitting, it's going to be a mess. So I love this. This is, oh my gosh, you guys, this is so soft. I love it so much. I really do. And it broke my heart. And I talked about, oh, am I going to have to rip back my my Sunday Tee by Petite Knit that I just love, that I had used this yarn for, and I had some left, enough to get me to here. Okay, so this is the original that I have left, the 97704, and it matches perfectly. That's it. It's perfect. Anyway, so I said, hey, I'll email you, we'll talk and get this all sorted out. That's when she told me that she found it at that yarn shop near her, and she was really wanting me to know about it. Well, I didn't see her comment. It's interesting, when you have a podcast, you have people from all over the world commenting, and I'm not saying that I get comments from everybody that watches my videos, and I don't, but I get a few, and it can come anytime during the day. So one morning, I opened up my iPad and I was looking, probably in Ravelry is probably what I was doing. When you have a YouTube channel, you have what they call YouTube Studio. And what YouTube Studio does, it helps me manage my channel. And all the information comes in, how many subscribers, how many comments, and who's commented, and so on and so forth. There's so many things that it helps you with. Well, that's where I get notifications too, every time I have a comment. So I was on my iPad, and across the top comes this comment, and someone says, has Bobby seen it yet? Has she gotten back with you? And immediately, this beautiful, wonderful viewer, they're both beautiful, wonderful, says, no, and I don't know why she hasn't gotten back with me. Oh my gosh. Then I thought, what is going on? Because I didn't know about that she had found this. So I opened it up, and then here it says that she had found some in her local yarn shop, a yarn shop near her. So that's what happened. And I'm so grateful and so thankful for all of you. I had so many comments. Some people were saying, and you know what, I don't blame you. Some people were saying, why in the world would somebody rip out the Sunday tee, a perfectly good to finish a test knit? Well, that was kind of an option that was going on in my brain, and I knew I wasn't going to do it. So I probably shouldn't have even mentioned it, but it did cross my mind. I thought, well, I could rip that out and then use that yarn because that was the original color. And I couldn't find it. I had asked the company, Knitting for Olive. I contacted them. They contacted me right away. Several stockists across the U.S. I sent messages out through Instagram to them, and the majority of them I heard back, and they did not have any. And since then, and since I heard from this wonderful viewer that got me in touch with the yarn shop, and I'll talk about the yarn shop here in a minute. I had other people say, well, one other viewer, I believe, I think it was just one other viewer that said that she had some yarn and that she was gonna, she'd love to sell it to me. And I said, oh my gosh, thank you so much. So I tried to find these comments that were saying, you know, have you gotten your yarn yet? And I tried to comment to everybody and let everybody know what was going on. But I could go on and on about this. And, you know, sometimes I go on and on about things that really touch my heart, and probably like, oh, Bobby, it's not that big of a deal. That's a big deal to me. It's a real big deal. Okay, let's talk about the yarn shop. And this is what it's called. A lot of everything's in French, and then some of the things are in English. So this all happened, and I think I ended up getting my yarn. I'm trying to think when I ordered it. It didn't take very long at all. But you know, when you're in the middle of waiting for something to come, you're like, oh my gosh, when's it going to get here? And then it said I had to sign for it, and I'm like, holy cow, I have to sign for it. Am I going to be home? Because I go to physical therapy twice a week, every Tuesday and Thursday. And I'm actually into almost the 6th week. I mean, I'm just started the 6th week of this. And I found out that I've actually, with this referral from the neurologist I went to, I can go a year from my first visit. I can go a year and continue with that. So hopefully I'll get to do that. But there's a good merci and thank you. And signed, I believe it says Nancy, I think. It's Nancie. How sweet. And they're so sweet and good and kind too. People are wonderful. When there's a need, there's always somebody that comes through for you with this knitting community. Okay, something else I wanted to talk about. Let's see, did I talk about everything else? I think so. At this point of the video, I'm always like, okay, wait a minute. Am I talking about everything? I don't want to leave anything out. We're talking about linen. And this is so sweet. And this has been so long since I've talked about this. This is the little dumpling bag. And this is by Pearl Soho. And this is 100% linen. And they had a knit along, I want to say it might have been a year and a half ago, maybe. Been quite a while. Isn't it sweet? Well, I decided to use some of my linen quill from Pearl Soho, and I did some lazy daisies on there. And then I got to thinking, I want to line this. 100% linen is really kind of has the strength of like a jute. It's not rough like a jute cord, but it does have the strength and kind of the mind of its own. When I was knitting it, it just kind of was like straight, just stayed straight and didn't really want to conform. But as I knit and got the hang of it, it just went by so quick. So what else I decided to do, I thought, you know, I'm going to line this. And I've got some old photos there on Instagram. And I kind of show you how I did it. And I took the dumpling bag, which again is by Pearl Soho. It's a pattern by them. They have a lot of free patterns, and I don't know if this one is free. I'll have to look in my Instagram. But this is the lining of it. So this is hand stitched. I don't know if you can see. You might not be able to see it. I hand stitched. Yeah, there's some in there. It's a lighter stitch there. I hand stitched that. But what I did was I laid the dumpling bag down, laid it down onto, actually it was a piece of paper, typing paper, but I had to tape some together. I made my own physical pattern. And what I did was I just drew a line around it with 5/8, no, more than that. It was more than 5/8 of an inch for the seam. Then I seamed it here and seamed it here with right sides together with my sewing machine. And then I left these, of course, undone because what I needed to do was iron the edge in, fold it under, and then iron, get it, press it nice, and then top stitch it on there. So that's how I did it. You know, sometimes I know how to sew. I mean, because my mother taught me how to sew, and they had home ec when I was in school. So this would have been my freshman year. So that was in 1972. And we actually, I was tiny, and they didn't even have like a size pattern that would fit me, you know, like a teenager size. So I learned how to alter too at the same time. I just didn't think anything of it. I just did what Mrs. Miller was her name, taught me to do. So I know how to sew. Am I an expert? No. But anyway, I love this. This is perfect for knitting socks. So put your yarn in here. And it's just so cute. I just saw it downstairs. You know, I have a dresser. And this dresser was Amish made. And it was my mother-in-law's. And she's since passed, but is my mother-in-law's. And it's beautiful. And it houses all of my hand knits. So far, it can handle most of them. I think, well, see, I've got some stacked up here too. So that's where this lives. This is where this gets to stay. And I was in there actually pulling this sweater out, the Asteri, for y'all to see today, so I could talk about a little bit about it. That's everything for today. And remember to check down below in the description. It's called Sleeveless Summer 2025. There are 12 patterns for you to look at, but I want you to check it. Again, there might be, well, I'll tell you what, there might be more than 12, because if I see a new one when I'm editing tomorrow, I'm going to add some in. So take a look. You can add your own. You can save it. Then I don't know. Can you do that? I don't know if you can. If you can add to my bundle, I don't know. It's interesting. But I really like making bundles because it keeps me organized. I'm going to tell you how many I have real quick, and then I'll let you go. I have favorites. I have 2,154 favorites. Yes. And not all those are in bundles. So as I'm going along, I try to go back up and check everything and put them into a bundle that I've already created. I try to do that. But that's going to take me a while to do. Okay, I'm going to let y'all go. Thank you so much for watching today. I appreciate you all so much. Have a wonderful day. And remember, go out and knit the day. I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.